Have you ever stopped to think about beef? I mean, really think about it. We eat it in burgers, we enjoy it as a steak, we put it in stews and tacos. It is a food loved all around the world. But why? What is it about beef that makes us come back for more? The answer is simple. It is all about the taste. The flavor of beef is deep and rich. It is a taste that feels satisfying and complete. It is a flavor that has been a part of human meals for a very long time. It connects us to our past. The journey of beef from a farm to your dinner plate is a long one. Each step in this journey helps create the final taste. It starts with the cow itself. Different kinds of cows or breeds give us beef that tastes different. The food the cow eats also makes a big difference. A cow that eats grass will have beef that tastes earthy and a little bit sweet. A cow that eats grains like corn will have beef that is richer and has more fat. This fat adds a lot of flavor when you cook it. We will explore this more later on. Think about the first time you had a truly great steak. Maybe it was at a family barbecue on a sunny afternoon. The smell of the grill filled the air. You could hear the sizzle as the meat cooked. When you finally took a bite, the beef was juicy and full of flavor. It was tender and easy to chew. That experience is why so many people love beef. It is not just about eating. It is about the memory you create. It is about sharing a good meal with people you care about. These moments make the food taste even better. So the love for beef is about more than just its basic taste. It is a combination of things. It is the rich flavor that fills your mouth. It is the satisfying feeling it gives you. It is the memories we attach to eating it. Beef has a special place on our tables because it delivers a complete experience. It is both simple and complex at the same time. This is why we keep exploring all the different ways to cook and enjoy it. From a simple hamburger to a fancy roast, beef always has something new and delicious to offer us. Let's talk about what makes beef taste like, well, beef. The secret is in the science. The main things that create its flavor are fat, muscle, and how they are put together. The fat in beef is very important. It is called marbling when you see it as little white lines inside the red meat. This fat melts when you cook it. As it melts, it spreads flavor all through the meat. It also keeps the beef moist and tender. Without that fat, beef would be dry and not nearly as tasty. So, a little fat is a very good thing. The breed of the cow is another big part of the flavor puzzle. Just like there are different kinds of apples, there are different kinds of cattle. An Angus cow, for example, is famous for its well-marbled, flavorful meat. A Japanese Wagyu cow gives us beef that is incredibly fatty and has a buttery, rich taste. Other breeds, like Hereford or Shorthorn, also have their own unique qualities. Farmers choose these breeds carefully. They know that the type of cow has a huge impact on the final product that ends up in the butcher shop and on your plate. What a cow eats every day is also very important for the taste of its meat. This is the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed beef. Grass-fed beef comes from cows that only ate grass and other plants. This beef is usually leaner. It has a flavor that people describe as more beefy or earthy. Grain-fed beef comes from cows that ate a diet of corn and other grains. This makes the meat fattier and gives it a milder, almost sweeter flavor. Neither one is better than the other. They are just different. It all depends on what you like. Finally, how the beef is aged changes its taste too. Aging is a process where beef is stored in a controlled environment for a while. There are two main types: wet aging and dry aging. Wet aging is when beef is sealed in a plastic bag. This makes the meat very tender. Dry aging is when beef is hung in the open air. This process concentrates the flavor, making it very intense and nutty. Dry-aged beef is often what you find at expensive steakhouses. This aging step is like a final touch that makes a good piece of beef truly great. Not all parts of a cow taste the same. This is because different muscles do different amounts of work. A muscle that moves a lot will be tougher and have a stronger flavor. A muscle that does not move much will be more tender. Let's start with a famous cut, the ribeye. This steak comes from the rib area of the cow. This part doesn't do a lot of work, so the meat is very tender. It also has a lot of marbling, that wonderful fat we talked about. When you cook a ribeye, the fat melts and makes every bite juicy and full of rich, beefy flavor. Now let's move to a different part of the cow, the sirloin. The sirloin is closer to the back legs. These muscles work a bit harder than the rib muscles. This means sirloin steak is a little less tender than a ribeye, but it has its own wonderful qualities. It is a leaner cut, meaning it has less fat. The flavor is still very beefy and strong, but it is not as rich as a ribeye. Sirloin is a great choice for grilling. It is a good, all-around steak that many people enjoy because it has a classic beef taste and is usually less expensive. What about cuts that need to be cooked for a long time? Let's talk about the chuck. The chuck comes from the shoulder of the cow. This is a very hard-working muscle. Because of this, chuck meat is tough and has a lot of connective tissue. You would not want to cook it quickly like a steak. Instead, it is perfect for stews or pot roasts. When you cook it low and slow for many hours, the tough tissue breaks down. It turns into a soft, gelatin-like substance that makes the sauce rich and delicious. The meat becomes incredibly tender and falls apart with a fork. Finally, we have a cut like the brisket. Brisket comes from the chest of the cow. It is another tough cut that supports a lot of the animal's weight. Like chuck, it needs to be cooked slowly. Brisket is famous in barbecue. It is often smoked for many hours until it is tender and has a deep, smoky flavor. It has a good amount of fat, which keeps it from drying out during the long cooking time. Each cut of beef tells a different story. Understanding these differences helps you pick the perfect cut for the meal you want to make, whether it is a fast-cooking steak or a slow-cooked roast. Beef is more than just food. It is a big part of cultures all over the world. In the United States, grilling burgers and steaks is a key part of summer holidays like today, the 4th of July. In Argentina, a barbecue called an asado is a major social event where families and friends gather for hours to cook and eat different cuts of beef. In Korea, beef is thinly sliced and marinated for dishes like bulgogi. In Italy, it is braised slowly for a rich ragu sauce to go with pasta. Each culture has found its own special way to celebrate the flavor of beef. When you go to the store to buy beef, how do you pick a good piece? First, look at the color. Fresh beef should be a nice bright red. If it looks brownish or gray, it might not be very fresh. Next, look for marbling. Remember those little white specks of fat? You want to see them distributed evenly throughout the meat. More marbling usually means more flavor and a juicier steak. Also check the label. It will tell you the cut of meat and sometimes the grade, like prime, choice, or select. Prime is the highest quality, with the most marbling. The popularity of beef has a big impact on our planet. Raising cattle takes a lot of land, water, and food. People are becoming more aware of this. This has led to more interest in sustainable farming. Some farms are finding better ways to raise cattle that are kinder to the environment. As consumers, we can help by making thoughtful choices. This could mean eating beef less often but choosing higher quality meat when we do, or it could mean supporting local farmers who use sustainable practices. It is about finding a balance. In the end, our fascination with beef comes down to its incredible versatility and satisfying taste. It can be a simple, quick meal or the star of an elaborate feast. It connects us to traditions, both in our own families and in cultures across the globe. By understanding where it comes from, how different cuts taste, and how to choose it wisely, we can appreciate it even more. So next time you enjoy a piece of beef, take a moment to think about its journey. Think about the rich history and complex flavors that have made it a favorite food for so many people for so long.